Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My YouTube name is Drippy Drez, and I am an anonymous YouTuber who talks about movies, societal issues, and eventually will start talking about school topics. In today's audio, I will be talking about why sexism still exists in the year of 2025. What gives me, an 18-year-old male, the right to talk about this? I am a huge fan of Joseph Gordon-Levitt and a firm believer that all men should be feminists. For those of you who need clarification and/or are confused as to why, feel free to pause the video and click on the link in the description below. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. So, for over 30 years now, we've had what it takes to stop with sexism, and yet we still hear about gender stereotypes, women still getting paid less, and all of the sexism that goes on behind the scenes. The reason for this is because a common misbelief is that sexual assault, verbal sexual harassment, and sexism is guaranteed to be worse for a girl or a woman than it is for a guy. The truth is, physical sexual harassment is worse physically for a woman, being that women are built weaker and it does a lot more damage to them. But mentally and emotionally, sexual harassment is bad for both genders because for a woman, it's easy to think that if you weren't at the wrong place at the wrong time, it wouldn't have happened. And for a guy, it's easier to think that if you were stronger or more masculine, or if your personality was just a little bit different, then it wouldn't have happened. Neither of those mindsets are good mindsets at all, and that is why it shouldn't happen to either, because it does affect both, and nobody should have to go through with something like that. And a lot of people think that verbal sexual harassment is worse for a woman. That's actually not true. It is worse for guys, because for a girl, if it happens to a girl, it's so easy for them to just laugh it off and say, go fuck yourself. Whereas for a guy, I mean, yeah, it's still pretty easy, but for a guy, it's also easy for them to think that if they were stronger, or if they were more masculine, or if their personalities were just a little bit different, it wouldn't have happened, and therefore, it's their fault. And then, as far as sexism goes, we say that it's worse for a woman, and when people say that, what they mean is that in the long run, women experience more consequences for it. I mean, it's true, but again, when they say that, what people like to think is that it's worse for a man, when, again, in all reality, it's bad for both, and that is why nobody should have to go through with that. And I think a common issue in today's world is that we focus so much on happiness and not enough on healthiness. And I know there's people who are going to take this and listen to this line the wrong way. Well, to those people, what I say is your way of fighting for what's healthy really healthy? Is your way of enforcing it on others really healthy? If so, how in the goddamn fucking hell could you possibly be fighting for anyone's healthiness? And that is why people should seriously stop joking that it's okay or not that big of a deal for it to happen to a man, but not for a woman, because whenever somebody jokes like this, there's always going to be people who think that it's true, and look at, we're going to end up dragging sexism or something else on for another 30 years. And one way of looking at it is, if you even have to worry that somebody is going to hear a joke and take it seriously or go about things as if they take it seriously, then don't find humor in it and don't make it. Thank you all so much for listening. Feel free to hit that like button if you haven't already. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. And please feel free to share this audio with as many people as possible.